You said something about Texas not being obligated to listen to court rulings, not being obligated to listen to the federal government. The word nullification, which is a bit of a poker tell, is all over your website as well. You don't believe that the state is obligated to follow dictates or mandates from the federal government. We should just basically refuse to do anything that we don't like that the federal government attempts to force on us.
States are obligated to oppose unconstitutional acts.
But what if it's found
because we want to? But
what if it's found to be constitutional? For instance, the next question in the debate was about the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare.
It's unconstitutional.
But the Supreme Court has not found it to be unconstitutional.
They're wrong.
Is there anybody you do listen to?
You.
I mean, Ms. Glass, I'm trying to take this seriously and trying to take you seriously. So you're saying you wouldn't listen to the state court if the state court or the state Supreme Court found that the school finance ruling was what it was. The fact that the John Roberts-led Supreme Court has said, as much as you and a lot of other people may not like it, that the Affordable Care Act is constitutional, your attitude is basically, I don't care?
I care. I care about our Constitution. I care about our founders. I care about our country. I care about our liberty. And I know that the approach of just bowing to the federal government and accepting whatever dictate they give to us has ruined us. It is going to.
So why not secede?
Because I want to enforce the Constitution, not walk away from
but
it.
But whose Constitution do you want to enforce? I mean, I am really serious about this, because if you're saying we will enforce the Constitution and the Supreme Court rules a law that you may not like, and again, others may not like, to be constitutional on whatever perverse grounds they may have done so, your attitude is, if I don't agree with it, I'm simply going to ignore it.
Well, I took an oath to defend the Constitution. And it didn't say, as interpreted by 5 of 9 people in black robes in Washington, D.C., I have an obligation, everybody who took that oath has an obligation to the best of their ability understand what the Constitution says, to be able to identify when it's being violated and to step in and do something about it. I'm going to keep that oath.
Let me push you on this for a second before we talk about the Affordable Care Act specifically. So let's say on the first day of Governor Glass's first term, the 9 members of the current Supreme Court resign. And you appoint 9 replacements. So they're your members of the Supreme Court. You've appointed them. And those 9 Supreme Court justices rule, your appointees, rule in a way that you similarly believe does not uphold the Constitution as you view it. You would not follow the ruling of your own appointed Supreme Court if you felt that it somehow did not square with your sense of what was right for the state of Texas?
If they were people I appointed, I would look at their decision and read it and weigh it very carefully. But if I thought they were wrong and I was right, I'm going to be guided by my own conscience, as everyone should be. And nowhere in our Texas Constitution or in the federal Constitution does it say that the judiciary is the final arbiter of what the Constitution says. They're entitled to opine upon it. In fact, it's their job to opine upon it, but it's an opinion.
Can I ask you a serious question? Are you running for governor or to be queen? Because this sounds more like a monarchical view of government than a democratic view of government.
I'm sorry it sounds that way. It only sounds that way because we've not followed these practices for so long that it does seem, it can seem extreme. But no, it's not just me. It's not my opinion. It's the opinion of lots of people who have looked into this. And it's the way our system was structured to work. And it won't work any other way. I'm not going to abandon my decision-making authority to anyone, and nobody else should either.